Spacey Sims, and we're back with more amazing Shinsengumi. And we finished Okita's route kind of early in the last part. I mean, it only took us a little over 2 hours, and most of them take closer to 3. So, I don't know. Maybe I've just didn't do as much chattering. Maybe I have nothing left to say. I don't know. But we are going to do the sequel and the date scenario in this part, and then the next part we will wrap up the game by getting the other endings. So it's a little bit different than the way we've done all the other routes, but, you know, then he'll get his 4 parts like we're used to. So, let's do the sequel. Epilogue. Stay with me forever. It had been a long time since I came to Soji's place. I was used to being his caretaker. At first he was cold, but he gradually showed me his gentle smile more and more. We're just going to gloss over the whole tuberculosis thing. He's coughing a little, but he's fine. He's fine! He was not fine. Huh, Soji's gone off by himself again. I lifted my head as Hajime told me that. That's what it looks like. Without changing his expression, Hajime answered me. Didn't he just return from his patrol? It seems like he was given a message from someone at the gate and went back. You didn't hear anything from the soldier? No, I didn't ask. Then it might have been a misunderstanding. He dropped his shoulders. Wow. He sounded uninterested, but it was like he was trying to cheer me up. At a glance, Hajime seemed distant, but Soji told me that he's a very caring person. Of course, Soji popped into my head. It felt strange. Is he avoiding me? Recently, Soji had been going out a lot. This is technically, I think the sequel is supposed to be after, like, just the normal good ending. The date comes after the kind of best ending. So, because otherwise, like, we're kind of seeing the man. So it's like, oh, I mean, I guess maybe he's nice. People are telling me. Should we have figured that out by now? Technically, in any of the endings, we're kind of sort of dating him. So, like, the bad ending is really just like maybe we're definitely going to start dating in the future, but we're not dating at the second. And then, like, the medium ending is like, yeah, we are, but we're not, like, totally in love. And then the best ending is, like, getting nailed every night. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just stages of the relationship, but it seems weird. Anyway, it looked like he left a message for his fellow soldiers, but he never told me. Probably because he didn't want me to question him or stop him from leaving. When he came back, he acted the same. He smiled and talked to me like always. Still, whenever I asked him where he went, he always avoided the question and didn't tell me. He's doing something nice for us and he doesn't want to tell us because it's a surprise. Maybe. That would be nice is all I'm saying. I guess that means... Oh, why is it not clicking? He feels guilty about something. I mean, technically hiding something is... Sorry, bird, I'm just trying to adjust my hand. I'm sorry, I was adjusting. I didn't want you to get stuck on the microphone cord. But you're getting stuck on my hoodie. Are you okay? He's like, you can't fucking walk. Aw, good boy. I didn't want to doubt Soji, but I was so anxious I couldn't help it. Soji seems off. Why do you think that? I asked Toshizo, and he answered me without delay. Why? Well, something seems off, and he's always going out. Then I'm sure he's guilty of doing something. He said it so straightforward. My eyes were wide open. If you feel like you want to stay by his side longer, I think it's better not to interrogate him on this subject. Unless you want to die. I mean, he didn't say that, but it's implied, right? Right? This is Okita we're talking about. He's going to kill me, right? Somebody has to threaten me. Does that mean if I find out, he could do anything? Your little burb is playing with your bells. Did you say he could play with your bells? I mean, it's nice to share your toys, but those are your favorite rings he's playing with. And you're okay with that? Alright. Toshizo's words made me even more nervous. Toshizo, do you know anything? When I asked him, Toshizo's eyebrow twitched. I'm not sure. However, I know that Soji doesn't like people who pry into his business. I'm certain it would put him in a bad mood. That was true. He wasn't the type of person to share his true feelings. Especially when it came to his weaknesses. He was the type to hide it no matter what. I guess that means he doesn't trust me. That really hurts. If you're worried, I would suggest asking him directly, but he might not answer you. I've tried that every single day. We should just follow him. That won't backfire. It's best you just forget about it. You should believe that he wouldn't do anything to betray you. I couldn't just forget it. Toshizo looked troubled, so I instinctively nodded. There was no way Soji would betray me. Okay. I mean, in the scheme of Otome games, yeah, no. We don't date those kind of characters. Because that would suck. But, like, in the real world, it's nice to think that way about your significant other, but I'm sure everyone whose significant other has betrayed them in some way has also thought that, and you never really can tell, can you? I'm not saying you should not trust people, but, like, trust your instincts. Although she's being stupid here, because he's probably hiding something. It's probably going to be some nice, like, secret or something, and we're overreacting. You know what I mean? He's like, no, I just want to do something nice for you. And we're like, oh my god, you're lying. Because we have to be a melodramatic asshole. So, you know. It's gonna just... I think it's probably true. I'm sure he wouldn't do it out of malice. Just because he didn't show his true feelings didn't mean he would cheat and toy with people. He always hid things so people wouldn't worry about him. He hid his weaknesses. But even so... he might be shouldering some sort of big responsibility. After thinking that, I became anxious for a different reason. Unless you're going to do voice acting, you don't peep in when I'm talking. Today I'm going to find out where he's going. Oh god, we are following him. I was joking. I was determined. I secretly followed Soji after he went out. I easily disguised myself with some headgear, kept my distance, and hid in order to watch him. He knows we're there. He's not stupid. Soji's really sharp, so I have to be careful. Toshizo was right. It was certain that I wouldn't be happy if I knew what Soji was doing. I might be angry. He might hate me because of it. I was scared of those things, but I'm gonna be an asshole and follow him anyway. I felt like I'd be relieved knowing the truth, rather than continually doubting Soji. If you're constantly... I understand that he's hiding something, and I don't know what it is. He'll tell me when he needs to, and then maybe it's something like, okay, it's a surprise. Oh, well... I'm going to constantly doubt him. If you're constantly doubting the person you're with, that either says a lot about them and the fact that, you know, they're doing things to make you doubt them, or you being completely untrusting. I'm just saying. But it doesn't really bode well for your relationship if you're lying to me. I'm not fucking lying. Why are you flying off the handle? Because I can't trust anyone. Well, like, one of you's an asshole, and maybe you shouldn't be together. I'm just saying. But we have to manufacture drama here, don't we? I hoped he wouldn't notice me. As I wished that, I lost sight of Soji. I did my best to go after him. Does he actually have a destination in mind? It was when I ran out of patience following Soji as he went around in circles. A woman started talking to him. I was far away and couldn't see her face. Oh, now we're going to get jealous because there's a woman talking to him. You know, because, you know, she can't just be like selling something or, you know, whatever. Asking for help, you know, maybe directions, whatever. We've got to be an irrational, crazy bitch about it. I kind of hate her right now. I feel like in this route, maybe it's just the whole game in general, but I don't know. Like in this route, I'm like, you're being an asshole. Like, you're being stupid. I mean, she was also stupid in Heisuke's route. Taking that abuse. But anyway. I couldn't hear what they were talking about either. What I did see was the two of them walk together after they were done greeting each other. Maybe this is where they planned on meeting each other. What was going on? Was this why Toshizo told me not to pry? And here's the thing, though. She's like, oh my god, he's talking to another woman. You talk to men on a daily basis. Do you see him flipping the fuck out about it? No, I'm just saying. Feeling depressed, I watched as they left. And one of them's rapey, and one's a whore. And then there's Hijikata, who enables this shit. Like, Soji whispered something to the girl, and they went into a nearby tea house. It was more than just a tea house. Okay, it was a popular date spot. My chest tightened. Oh, he whispered to her because he knows we're following him. Without thinking, I ended up sitting near them. I was now sure. All I had to do was return to the base. I wouldn't ask him about it. I didn't have the courage to, and I felt I didn't have the right to know. If I wanted to be by his side, I thought it'd be best to pretend I didn't know anything. And then this is pathetic. You followed him, first of all. Okay, crazy. But sure, fine. Okay, okay. You see him talking to another woman. Okay, you assume they're on a date. I want to stay by his side, so I'm just going to pretend I don't know he's what you think of as cheating with another woman. He's out there having a fling with... He's sleeping with other girls, but, like, I want to be with him, so I'll just stick around. That is some That is stupid, but okay. That was what I told myself, but I wasn't sure I could go through with it. Seriously? No, don't. Obviously, he's not, but... In the end, I didn't return to the base. I loitered around there for a while. My head was convinced, but my heart was against the idea of doing those things. If I had returned to the base, I would have been exhausted from worrying as I waited for Soji. Not to mention, I couldn't just pretend I didn't know anything. To calm myself, I started to walk around with no destination in mind, but... Soji? I unexpectedly found him and I instinctively hid. No, wait, why is he here? He just entered that tea house with that woman. Even if he just wanted to hang around the area, not that much time had passed. If he was here in front of me, that meant he left the tea house soon after going in. Also, the woman from before was no longer with him. Now there was a different woman. I'm just kidding. Soji was alone. He's looking for you. Paying attention to see if anyone was watching, he looked around and then entered a certain place. My heart started to pound. I quickly left. I decided to wait for Soji at the base. You sure are quiet today, Spacey. Were you sad because I was late coming back? As Soji entered the room, he smiled and talked to me like always. I'm telling you, he's trying to do something nice for us or some shit. Or it has something to do with the tuberculosis. But that would just be a weird thing to put in, like, the sequel is like, oh, I'm dying and I'm just trying to hide it. We kind of already know, but at the same time, well, I mean, they kind of glossed over it and went around it. And, like, you know what I mean? And I kind of feel like if you hadn't played Hakuoki or didn't know anything, you'd be like, he's coughing up. Are we just going to gloss over that? Like, is it because of the fire? I can't. You know what I mean? They kind of just, like, threw it in there and forgot about it. You're like, what's going on with that? So it could be. You know, I don't know. I tried to smile back at him, but I couldn't. Soji let out a sigh and started to hug me because I was on the brink of tears. Ugh. Hey, you're such a bad girl. You followed me today, didn't you? I can't say that was tasteful. I mean, it really wasn't. He gently whispered to comfort me. He had noticed me. I mean, you kind of suspected he would. And he must have done that on purpose. It's okay. There's nothing for you to worry about. You can't trust me? He wrapped his hands around my cheeks and looked me in the eyes. He had a kind smile. It was truly kind. He's a better person than us. Could you imagine if we went out and he followed us? We'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, maybe. You'd be like, seriously, you need to just get over your issues. Your jealousy thing. But, like, at the same time, there's a limit to the crazy. Maybe we didn't push that limit. I don't know. I kind of felt like we were starting to, but I started to cry just looking at him. I saw it. Like I was trying to tell you, that girl is actually... Business did you have at that clinic? Oh. When I asked that, Soji's smile became stiff. The clinic, The room became silent. It seemed like he didn't expect me to ask that. You didn't know we were following you then, did you? I could tell he was distraught. I see. I thought I could hide it, but I guess I still need some training. He finally said something and let out a sigh. Clinic makes me think it has to do, you know. Have you been going there this whole time? He constantly participated in the patrols, was far from the front lines, and didn't train. Still, he acted the same as always, so I never suspected anything. I didn't think his illness would get worse. Okay, so... You don't have to look so serious. There's no way it's because of something like that. Do I look like I'm sick? You asshole, but you are. Suddenly, Soji started to spit out words. I just caught a cold. Yeah, okay. It's the kind that makes you cough up blood and kills you, but... I even asked the doctor's daughter to write me something saying I'm fine. I asked her to write it quick, and today I went over to fetch it. Soji cut me off as I tried to argue with him. He explained with a smile on his face. Is this how they're gonna, like, gloss over? They're gonna be like, we don't really want to delve into that. It's fine if Heisuke assaults you and we just tolerate that, but we don't want to throw, like, tuberculosis in here, because that would just be kind of dark and... So, he had a cold, he's fine. What? What? Okay. Wow. That did sound consistent, but is it really just a cold? I saw him coughing from time to time. He didn't cough up blood, but it was a deep and unpleasant cough. He always told me he was fine and that I didn't need to worry, but he always hid behind his smile so other people wouldn't worry about him. It's also kind of sad. Like, I can understand it. Well, you don't want to worry the person that loves you, but at the same time, he's not thinking that. He's like, I just don't want people to think I'm weak. Dude, it's like, illnesses don't give a fuck how strong you are. They gonna kick your ass, they gonna kick your ass. Like, it doesn't matter, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm weak, I got sick. Most people get sick. Like, multiple times in their lives, so. You just happen to get sick with something that's, like, really fucking bad. Doesn't make you weak. It's just inconvenient. Like, it might have been better if he told me he was cheating. What? That was only a... That way, only I would be the one in pain. Oh. I might get mad, but I was sure I would calm down with time. But, okay. No. I have an itch under my ear. Hold on. Oh. It's my ear with my microphone. I'm sorry. I know I disrupted the bird, too. There was no way I could hate him. I was sure I would forgive him in that situation. Oh, God. Don't. No, don't. No. No, don't. In comparison to Soji hiding his pain and suffering behind a smile, it would have been better if he had been cheating on me. No, it wouldn't have. I understand what she's saying. Like, I would hurt, but he would be okay. Now he's hurting and hiding it. I get it. She's trying to be selfless here, but it's stupid. Please don't look so sad. I'm holding in my tears as well, you know. But then, I knew it. Before I could finish, if I had a cold, then I wouldn't be able to do stuff today. Do stuff? I was disappointed at his unexpected words. I showed my feelings in my words. He's blushing. You think it's a shame too, right? Sorry. I'll get well soon and do my best. Soji hugged me again. Don't you mean you'll do your best to get well soon? No. If I say it like that, the meaning changes. Stop messing around. I was annoyed at his mischievous smile, but on the other hand, I felt a little relieved. I'm sorry for worrying you. I tried to hide it from you. Why would you do that? He even made it seem like he was cheating on me. His reason for hiding it... Well, I mean, if you knew I had a cold, I thought you wouldn't let me hold you and do other things with you. After I seriously asked him, he also answered with a serious look. What are you saying? Sorry, it was just a joke. He might have caught it as well, but I thought I needed to hide it. He added that sentence, but now I was even more confused about the truth. Like, does he really know? Okay, so my question with this is the game, like, just glossing over it. It's like, yeah, he was coughing up. It's not, it's just a cold. Because, because we don't want to deal with something as dark as deadly illness. But the assault is fine. Okay. Questionable game. Questionable. Or they're like, he doesn't know at this point. He thinks it's a cold. Because, I mean, there was a point where he was like, no, I'm fine. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It is that bad. You know what I mean? Like, I thought even in Hakuoki, it was like, he needs to rest and take care of himself or he's going to end up dead. And he probably could have, like, but he was just like, nah, push myself. Because he's a stubborn ass. But, like, is the game trying to be like, no, we're trying to hint that maybe something is darker there, but like, nah, it's just a cold. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, he's either lying, he actually thinks it's a cold, or the game is like, no, it was just a cold, with like quotes around it, because they just don't want to delve into something like that. Like, again, some of the other shit that happens in this game, but you're worried about that? I don't know. They just didn't have time in the plot for that, I guess, but, yeah. Maybe I was actually overthinking it. Yes, I actually am overthinking it. This game is kind of terrible, but that was what I thought. Okay, enough. I understand, so hurry up and go to bed. I lost the will to ask him anything else. That's a very direct invitation for you. Soji had a puzzled look on his face, but it soon turned into a grin. That's not what I meant. I was really worried. That side of him really hadn't changed. That's not what I meant. You have a cold, right? You need to rest. I'll lay down a futon for you. I'll bring some warm water and medicine for you to drink. How heroic of you. I am your caretaker after all. Not to mention, you took care of me a while ago as well. Now that you bring it up, that did happen. So, I'll treat you well to pay you back for that time. It's not my fault if you catch my cold. I'll deal with it when that happens. If I worry about it now, I won't be able to properly care for you. It's funny that now he's worried. He's like, if I told you I had a cold, you wouldn't let me have sex with you because then you might get sick. But now that you know if you take care of me, you might catch it. You weren't really that concerned about me catching it beforehand, is all I'm saying. If I told you, then I might have caught it. Like, because me knowing is what would have made me catch it. Like, that's not how it works, but okay. That's true. And then I'll have to make sure you do a good job. After saying that, Soji tapped the floor to have me sit near him. Without understanding anything, I sat next to him, and he put his head on my lap. Aw. Soji? I was shocked when he put his head on my lap and let out a shout. What are you doing? I can't move like this. Not to mention, you need to properly sleep in your futon. I'd rather sleep here. As he said that, he cuddled me. He rubbed his cheek on my lap. Please stop acting like a child. Even though I said that, I thought he was cute. I couldn't help but smile. This much is fine, isn't it? You're the only one who's as sweet to me, Spacey. It'd be really weird if Hijikata was as sweet to you and you... I mean, sure, whatever, float your boat, guys. Although it'd be kind of adorable. You're like, oh, your little bromance. This is adorable. I meant to scold him, but with my smile, I couldn't say anything back to him. It's okay if I'm sweet to you, but you have to let me take care of you. As long as you're by my side, Spacey, I'll feel healthy in no time. In more ways than one. He took my hand and our fingers entangled. Aw. His fingers started to stroke my stomach like he was playing with me. I wanted to contradict him, but I couldn't find the words to say it. And that's why we can't be separated from each other. You have to stay with me forever. This time he pulled my hand closer and kissed it. Yes, I will. After saying those simple words, Soji showed me his jovial smile. If I knew you were going to be this caring of me, I wouldn't have hid it in the first place. Yeah, you shouldn't have. Oh, make sure you keep it a secret from the other guys, okay? I'll lose my dignity as a captain. Soji smiled bashfully, yet mischievously. I smiled at him in return. 'Cause you got sick? Just the soldiers, right? I understand. Then I'll just tell Shinpachi about it. Why would you tell him? Then I'll tell Toshizo, Isami, and Hajime. That's too many people. Just kidding. I won't tell anyone. You really are something else. I'm just paying you back for all the times you teased me. Fair. When I said that, I put my free hand on Soji's head and started to pet him. My heart filled with love for him as I touched his soft skin. Being with a man who always shows me his smile, I wish that he could feel comfort and be treated with kindness as long as he was with me. The end. Okay. Date scenario is after the romantic one. Dating a captain. It's your fault. Yeah, sure. Pretty sure Heisuke tried that bullshit on me too. It had been a long time since I'd come to Soji's place. I was used to being his caretaker. Wow, this is just deja vu. At first he was cold, but he gradually showed me his gentle smile more and more. Seriously? Game? Oh. He's still a bully, but in a mindful way. I can't say I hate it. Oh, Soji! Is your patrolling over? Job well done. It looks like you were doing some hard work as well. The inside of the base has really changed. It's pretty now. He patted my head lovingly for greeting him. Cute. Thank you. I'm about to make dinner. Is there anything in particular you want to eat? I'm flattered, but you can't keep cooking everything I like. Other people eat here too, you know. Well, screw them. He lightly scolded me, but he had a gentle smile on his face. Screw them! No, but no, we like them. They're good boys, so. Well, except for Heisuke. Fuck him. Not literally, though. Not by choice, anyway. That's true, but I want to make you happy more than anyone else. I said that in my head. I'm fine with anything. And that is, if you're making it for me. anything was the most difficult order to take. I thought how simple I was getting happy over some simple words he said. If I sound muffled, it's because there's literally a bird in my mouth. Like, he has his head, like, fucking against my lips. Like, I can't. You're so cute, but you can't talk. Okay. He moved a little. Okay. I know, I love you. You're so good. He snuggles, but he can't read. I can't read when you're smushed in my face. Yeah. So, you're gonna prepare dinner? That's perfect timing. Huh? I have something I need to do. I'm gonna shut myself in my room, so you don't need to worry. Even if you tell me not to worry. Even if you say that! God. Such a cliche line in these games. It drives me bonkers. I read it, and in the back of my head, I'm like, ah! I just don't know. Even if you say that, even if you tell me that, even if it's like, what? There's just something about the phrasing of it that just bothers me. I just don't like it. Like, I don't know why. Anyway, telling me it's perfect timing. Was it something he couldn't do in my presence? I mean, he just needs some personal time, okay, girl? I would have understood if he had to go out somewhere and be back by dinner time. That would be weird in the middle of the street. That's why he wants private. I need to stop. What reason could he have for keeping me away and shutting himself in his room? Did he get a love letter from someone? Oh my god! Maybe he just wants to take a nap. Or is he going to write one himself? There's no way that was possible, right? Maybe he just wants to cuddle with Hijikata by himself without us watching them this time, okay, God? I'm sure he had an important job to do. More work? That sounds tough. I was anxious guessing the possibilities by myself, so I asked him to make sure. Huh? Oh, yeah. Something like that. However, my anxiety grew with the suspicious answer. Look, he just wants some alone time with himself, okay? It's fine. It's okay. I'll finish the dinner preparations early and check up on him. That's gonna be dangerous. He didn't tell me to stay away or anything. If he's really working, I'll feel bad for interrupting him. Tired of worrying, I decided it wouldn't be very intrusive if I brought him tea. If he's busy, I can just leave. I won't cause him any trouble. I just really want to know. Girl, we are such an asshole. It wasn't that I didn't trust Soji. I mean, everything you're saying basically says you don't, but there was something strange about what he said. Plus, whenever I was at the base, it felt like he was avoiding me. I was lonely when he didn't talk to me. I was a little ashamed of my thoughts. I covered my face. I mean, I can understand her, like, I just feel lonely. I'm kind of ashamed of the thought. We all have, like, intrusive, stupid thoughts in your head where things pop up and you're like, well, I was being irrational and stupid. That's part of being human. But, like, she just keeps acting on them. And I know it's just to cause drama because otherwise everything's happy and nothing happens. And this is, like, manufactured, like, drama for the sake. But it's just, it's kind of cheesy. You could have manufactured, you could have come up with drama some other way. But well, I guess we really don't have time in, like, 20 minutes, right? So, anyway. Soji, I brought you some tea. Can I come in? I called out from the hallway, but he didn't answer. He's napping. Soji? I thought it was strange, so I called out to him again. Huh? Spacey! Finally, his bewildered voice replied. After a while, he opened the door and peeked his head outside. What's wrong? Did you already finish preparing dinner? Yeah, it just needs to be served. It's still early for dinner time. If I leave it like that, someone else will... Who's someone else? Shinpachi? After I said that, Soji looked unhappy. Oh, him. He coldly mumbled and went back into the room. Was I bothering you? I wasn't sure if I should enter or not, so I asked from the hallway. There's no way you could bother me. Come on in. He answered kindly. I felt relieved and entered the room with the tea tray in hand. He was probably napping. You're like, were you sleeping? Or he's just reading. I'm locked away in my room. I just want some quiet time to read. See, he wanted some quiet time to himself. What the fuck were you thinking, you perverts? Dirty minds. The lantern in the room was lit, and I saw a book in front of it. Were you reading a book? Huh? Oh, yeah, I was. Soji closed the book and put it on his desk. That's just so cute. It was like he was trying to keep his distance from me. What kind of book is it? He seemed to be really into it. I couldn't figure it out after asking him the first time. I was overly curious after it looked like he was hiding something. That's a secret. Soji casually smiled. Huh? Why? I guess because it's embarrassing. The contents are embarrassing? Is he reading porn? He's reading a bodice ripper? I was even more curious when he looked troubled. I'm sure my face showed it. Soji's smile quickly turned mischievous. What kind of book do you think it is? Huh? Well... I became flustered. It can't be... Is it that kind of book? It's embarrassing. She's probably thinking, oh my god, it's a dirty note. Like, yeah, no, it's not porn. He's reading he's like, I just really like when he's imagining himself and his bodice being ripped. I'm just saying, like, look, lady porn and man porn are kind of different. Okay, I'm just saying, the things that would be in a porn novel for men are kind of different than what they usually write in lady bodice rippers. So, and clearly, every once in a while, men who write lady porn or otome games seem to think that we want creepy douche canoes who are extremely rapey. No, I mean, you could throw me in a cage if you're hot, but like, anything, none of that was okay. Fuck you guys. Whoever wrote this, you're an asshole. What is wrong with you? No. I mean, I think if I knew what I was getting into, and okay, there's gonna be some of these inappropriate fine, but like, that came out of nowhere and I didn't like it. I want to know what I'm gonna get into. I want to know, okay, this game has got everybody is a creep. I should have known that, though, because, like, Dogonzaka Labs games are either, like, really good, like the Many Yoshiwara, those are pretty good, or they're, office lovers, sexual harassment the game. And since this is a mixed review game, I should have known that this was basically Shinsengumi sexual harassment the game. I should have known. I don't know what I was expecting. That's on me, I guess. Anyway. There's no way I could ask him. Seeing me fret, Soji smiled even more. Oh no, you're all red. What kind of book did you think it was? It's because you said it so strangely. What kind of book is it? Just tell me. If you hide it like that, I'll just become more curious. He looked sad, then he provocatively stared at me. If you really want to know, take it from me and see for yourself. Soji took the book and hid it behind his back. Hey, that's not fair. You know what would be funnier? He's just like, alright, whatever, I don't give a shit. Here's your tea, bye. Don't play his games. That's how you win the game, is you don't play the game. There's no way I could take it from Soji, unless you really want to play the game. Then you're like, oh, okay. I see what you're trying to... And then you play the game because you want to play the game. You don't play the game and because he wants you to play the game. You either are just like, fine, whatever, I'm going to win by not playing. Or you're like, yeah, okay, I'm into this. But she's going to be like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. What are you doing? It's frustrating. Anyway. I get annoyed and stretched out my hand. What I caught wasn't the book, but Soji's hand. Before I knew it, my face was in his chest, of course. You're like a moth to a flame. He hugged me tightly and I could hear him chuckle over me. Stop messing with me. Am I messing around? I've got a bad girl trying to steal my book. I mean, and this is why you just go with it. Now then, how shall I punish you? Oh god, please don't tie me up and tease me with like a feather or something sexy like that. Blindfold, maybe. I don't know. He's like, what? Nothing? I mean, what? He wouldn't expect that from us either. You're the one who told me to take it from you! Like, she just doesn't get how to play. She just doesn't, and it's disappointing. Even though I kept telling him how mean he was, he didn't loosen his grip. Do you really want to know? He asked in an oddly quiet manner. He sounded a little lonely. If he asked in his bullying manner, I wanted to tell him that of course I did. When he asked like that, I felt shy and nodded. If you don't want to tell me, I won't force you. You're too kind, Spacey. He let me go as he said that. In addition, he let me look at the book. This is... After reading the title, I spoke without thinking. An instructional sword techniques booklet? Why should I... Why? That should have just been obvious. It was like, it's Okita. What kind of book could it possibly be? Okay, yeah, that should have been obvious. Yep. Soji smiled when he saw my disappointment. What's embarrassing about this? I was a fool for worrying so much. I continued to cross-examine Soji. Despite my looks, I am the captain of the First Corps. We know that. What? That makes no sense. I already know the sword technique, so why would I need a book? It's a little embarrassing, isn't it? Because you're obsessive and a perfectionist, and you would probably dream about all the sword techniques just to make sure that you are perfect and always doing everything I'm just saying. Is that how it is? I feel like he'd simply be made fun of. I was taught the theories and idealisms behind it. Thought I just needed to practice. Then why did you decide to read that book? That's because I wanted to become stronger. Mentally? Aren't you strong enough already? That's not true. Still need to train. He may not look it, but Shinpachi is very skillful. I can't afford to lose to him. Is that so? It's like just cute because he's like, I just need to be the best, so I gotta make sure I'm the best. I gotta read all the books. That's kind of adorable. Shinpachi must be really amazing. Soji frowned. Seem very interested in Shinpachi, don't you? He smiled, but his expression still looked scary. That's not true. See, this is where you tease him. If he's gonna be that kind of an asshole to us, we need to be that asshole back. It's just give and take here. Well, you seem interested in him. Are you concerned? Or that's when you're like, Jesus Christ, stop being a bitch about it. I'm like, I am, like, he's a bro. We go out, we have a beer. I'm not interested in him like that. Stop being an ass. It's because you complimented him. I thought he might be really strong. Before you praised Hajime for being exceedingly strong. And that time you didn't mention if you wanted to beat him or how you wanted to improve your skill. Yeah, no, you were going to fight to the death with him. Did we forget that? If he went by age, he probably wouldn't want to lose to Hajime as he was younger. On the other hand, it looked like Soji was more concerned about losing to Shinpachi. And there's a reason I don't want to lose to Shinpachi. A reason you don't want to lose? I tilted my head and wondered. Soji had a bitter smile. I've known him ever since I went to the... Shiekon. It's Shiekon, yeah. Shiekon. I don't know why. It's all the vowels together! They throw me off every time. It's easy to feel the rivalry between us. I get so enthusiastic, even Captain Kondo gets mad at me. Then he does it to defend Asami? Soji's faithfulness toward Asami was massive, yeah. Soji trusted and adored him. I could understand if he was offended after hearing someone badmouth Asami. But he doesn't want to lose for that reason? Seems so childish. I smirked at the thought of it. And just in case anything happens, I'm always on guard in any situation. Soji lowered his voice and said it in a painful tone. Shinpachi would go to such lengths. Oh, that's me. Shinpachi would go to such lengths? Shocked, I raised my voice without thinking. I can't say he wouldn't. Unbelievable. I mean, Shinpachi's so kind and has a strong sense of justice. You've been defending Shinpachi a lot today. It's because you're saying such strange things. The way you doubt your comrades. And there are times when you have to doubt them. This man is insane, but okay. I think we knew that, but punishing traitors is one of my duties. He said it without hesitation. Chills ran down my spine. I knew he had to do things like that, but Shinpachi wouldn't do something like that. Why do you think that? Is it because he's kind and has a strong sense of justice? Soji used my exact words to question me further. Why do you view Shinpachi as such a threat? I asked undauntedly. Ever since we met, Soji had always been cold to Shinpachi. I didn't think Asami getting mad at them was good enough reason to hate Shinpachi. I should have taken a breath when I read that, sorry. It's because you keep defending him. Huh? Soji put his hand on my cheek. The thing about Captain Kondo is also a reason. And more than that, I don't want you to go near Shinpachi. He's too earnest. As he said that, he caressed my neck. He's like, I don't want you going near him because he might take you from me. I mean, he's nicer to me. Is that what you're saying? Maybe you should be nicer to me. Also, Shinpachi and I are just bros. It's fine. Me? You trust Shinpachi way too much. No matter how you look at it, he has to have an ulterior motive. He looked away from me and sounded irritated. You are even worse than we are with jealousy and stupidity, but I couldn't see that in him. Really? I'm sure you know. You're just toying with me. Toying with you? Never even thought to do that. I have, but I never would have guessed Soji felt that way about me. I was sad he didn't trust me. Sorry. I know you wouldn't do that, Spacey. Toy with you? Yes. I mean, oh, like, not like, oh, I'm messing with your emotions, but I'm in love with someone else. No, I mean, like, fuck with you and, like, drive you bonkers and be a kind of a bully to you because you're being a bully to me. Like, it's payback, bitch. All I'm saying. That's why we would not work. Soji hung his head and laid it on my shoulder. I was worried when I saw you laughing with Shinpachi. When you're so courteous in front of him. I thought you were touched at how kind he was. It must be weak. I get so stirred up when it comes to you. He slowly put his hand behind my back and hugged me, making sure there were gaps between us. Soji thought something like that. Oh my god, my butt hurts. I need to flip my cushions. I thought he saw right through me and knew how I felt. I'm the one who stirred up. But I can't move because my bird is jammed in my chest, so... I said with a sigh. Soji looked up at me. He was extremely close, so my heart started to beat faster. Oh my god, but my tailbone hurts so much right now. I hate my couch cushions. They're so uncomfortable. I mean, I finished the dinner preparations early because I was worried about you. I was happy when Shinpachi took over for me because that meant I could see you. Everything I do revolves around you, Soji. See, that's the first step to admitting you have a problem, and you need to do things for yourself. But okay. I was a little embarrassed when I declared it. Soji looked a little surprised, but then he smiled. You say the cutest things. As he said that, he embraced me and laid me on the floor. Oh. Soji! I looked up at him and said that as he hung over me. What's wrong? He was already untying the bow on my kimono. What's gotten into you? It's almost time for dinner. If someone comes to call you, I'll just tell them I'm busy. That's not the problem! I'm trying to be quiet. He's grunting and, I'm busy! Yeah, I bet you are! It's your fault, Spacey. You're the one who came here right before dinner time and made me feel this way. I'm pretty sure just me existing makes you feel this way, which I guess is a good thing and a bad thing, but... I didn't mean to make you... You made it sound like I'd seduced him. My face was red with embarrassment. Again, just by existing we seduced him, so I mean, props to us, I guess? That wasn't why I came to his room. And then again, if I told him I wasn't expecting anything to happen, I might be lying. I knew I wouldn't be able to read if you were here, and that's why I read it while you were gone. Yet you still showed up at my door. Yeah, well, you know. You were reading and I needed to know what you were doing because I thought maybe you were cheating on me and writing love letters. It's not my fault that I couldn't do anything else, right? As he said that, he put his lips on my forehead and then down onto my cheek. I couldn't escape from that gentle feeling. Not to mention, I love seeing your anxious or troubled face, Spacey. And not just your smile. Your tear-filled face, your embarrassed face, all of them. And that might be why I always end up teasing you. I mean, that's a nice sentiment, like, I love you no matter what face you have on, even when you're ugly crying, I still think it's beautiful. Like, but not the, I like it when you've got a tear-streaked face, and that's why I like being mean to you and making you cry, because that's a little sadistic and fucked up. There's like multiple meanings, and I just feel like he's leaning toward the, like, exactly this, I like to tease you, because then when you get all upset and you cry, yeah, it turns me on. That's kind of fucked up and douchey. You know what I mean? It's not like he's like, you know, that time where, like, the dog died and you were, like, ugly crying. I felt like I hurt for you, but you were still so beautiful in that moment. Like, I still love you even when you're ugly crying and there's snot pouring out of your nose. You know what I mean? Like, that's nice, because sometimes, as people, no matter how pretty you are, you're ugly sometimes. Like, ugly crying, or you're, like, angry, like, first wake up in the morning. Like, sometimes we are not pretty, okay? And if the person that loves you thinks you're beautiful even in those ugly moments, that's great. But not the, like, I like it when you cry, it turns me on, that's why I'm mean to you. That's sadistic and kind of fucked up. And that's exactly the side of the coin that Soji's on, so. It's like, I mean, it's a nice sentiment, but that's not what you mean by it, so, yeah. Make sure I'm the only one you show those faces to. With his sweet words, he lowered his lips onto my bare skin. I guess we have to wear a bag on our head from now on so nobody sees my face. At the same time, his fingers gently caressed me. It was like he was toying with me. He gradually bestowed pleasure onto me. I became impatient and fell into his trap. Wow. Knowing full well what he was doing, Soji continued to tease me with his caress. It was unbearable. It was like waiting for a wish to come true. I'm the one who's being toyed with. I felt a little frustrated. I liked that part about Soji as well. I couldn't do anything about it. Even when dinner time came, we continued to make love. After being intimate, we both dozed off, chuckling at the fact that we missed dinner, embarrassed by the fact that everyone probably knew why we didn't show up. Still, I had no chance of going against my love for him. I put my face on Soji's chest and hugged him tightly. See, okay, here's my problem with this game right now, because I'm reading that part, and you're like, okay, oh, we continue to make love. That's fine. It kind of, you know what's happening, but it doesn't make you read inappropriate things. I feel like in Hajime's route, we got a little bit more, there was a little bit more like, he touched me here, and then he was, and you're like, okay, just, I need you to just be like, we continue to make love and deep into the, okay, fine. That's it. Just, I can use my imagination, okay? I don't need you to imagine for me, because that makes me awkward, and I have to read that. It's like awkward, okay? And then we have fucking Heisuke's route. What sick fucker wrote that route, first of all? With the whole, like, just everything he did. But then we have to constantly, I know there are clinical terms for parts of your body, but, like, I don't want to read that on YouTube. Because one, I don't know if we get banned. You know what I mean? You gotta be careful with some of the things that you say. But also, I mean, we're reading a game, and do we have to get that graphic? Do we have to start, like, this is not a sex ed class. That's not what we're doing here. Let's not, I mean, that became a porn game at that point. Like, an inappropriate one. You're like, oh my god, we have read, even in, like, I'm pretty sure even in Fashioning Little Miss Lonesome, when you had, well, we played this without the patch, because, oh my god, the squelchy noises were just really bad. You're like, I don't need the sound effects. I'm pretty sure there wasn't even language like that with the 18 plus patch in that game. Seriously? Who the fuck wrote Heisuke's route? What is wrong with you? I mean, if you were writing a porn novel, okay, fine. But this is not, that came out of nowhere. Everything about that route was like, you were like, you had 3 like normal people, right? And then you had that, well, there are 5 routes in this. Yeah, okay, anyway. You just like, it's like one person wrote the rest of them. Okay, and then we just kind of use flowery terms and like whatever. And then you had just one random person that's like, write Heisuke's route. And then you're like, it's too late to get somebody else to write that, I guess. Like, what? What the fuck? Like, what? That came out of nowhere. Oh my god. Anyway, so, oh right, we can go through our gallery. We're missing one, but we'll go through our gallery because this is our normal, this would normally be our part where we, you know, gallery and get our endings, and then we'll get the bad endings in the next part. So he has good CGs, although this one makes me think Harada. It's because the red from like the fire glow gives him red hair, and it just makes me think Harada and Hakuoki, which is weird. And this is when it's zoomed out, of course, and then now he's got his hand, and then that's okay. You just made it inappropriate now. The look on his face in this one though is so like, yeah, hey, come on, like it's just so even more awkward. You're like, wait a minute. It's almost not him. It's kind of funny, though. And that's the one we're missing, which we'll get in our other endings. We're missing our eyes in this, but it's okay. It's like they don't click, I guess, because you got to click on the photo. Like, that's kind of cute. Like, oh, look, sleeping in her lap. That's nice. I mean, okay, aside from the gropey one part, and I was like, let's not do this, he did redeem himself, and he was better. And it's like, okay, I don't condone what you did there, but, like, I don't, it's a, like, I think I would have been like, the fuck are you doing? And we would have been fine, but it was Heisuke's route before it that just traumatized me to the point where I'm like, take the whole man out in the trash. But no, Okita, you're fine. You actually were better. I just feel like they let Heisuke's writer write that part. Like, hey, could you just write this one scene for me? Because I gotta leave early. And then and then it was like, ah, fuck. It was too late. It was too late to redo the homework. I don't know. You drank a little too much, and you were hanging out with the Heisuke writer, and you just, like, I don't know, because I came out of nowhere. That didn't really fit, and it still didn't fit with the way he was. I mean, sure, he made those, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Well, that's inappropriate, and you should never say that to a woman, actually, but, like, in an Otome game, we're kind of used to that, and you're like, ugh. My existence is not an excuse for you to get aroused. It's not my fault. You need to learn how to control yourself, but, you know, we're used to that in games. So I could see him saying that. It was the, like, but you actually, what? Where did that come from? Ugh, this game. Heisuke's route really ruined it. If we take that out, the rest of it was not the best. You know, but it really wasn't the worst. We've played worse. And I think at this point, even mixed review games where we're getting to the point where, like, all the characters are just, like god-awful. I feel like even if we played Office Lovers now, it'd be like, I am so used to trash that, like, it doesn't faze me anymore. Some things still faze me, like Heisuke. But, I mean, in Office Lovers, we were like, you're all what the fuck is wrong with all of you? But we knew what we were getting into. I knew we were going to marry the trash. And they were all fucking awful. And she was awful. I mean, I guess I kind of should have known here too, but I think the Hakuoki makes you, like, actually want these characters to not be trash. I mean, like, Hajime and Shinpachi were fine, right? They weren't, I don't think there was anything wrong with what they were decent characters. And Harada was just a flirty little whore, but we kind of expect that from him. Heisuke was just, we've already said everything we need to say about that trash. We've taken him to the dumpster fire that is still going from 2020, and he can just go in there and just burn with the rest of it. Just no, like it never happened. And like Okita was a little iffy in the beginning, but he was kind of fine at the end. So I mean, like, they weren't really that bad, but you know. Anyway, that was all the good stuff. We'll get the other two meh and the middle ground ending in the next part, and then we'll be done with this dumpster fire. I say that, but it really wasn't that bad. It was just, it's a smelly alley is what it is. You're like, this doesn't smell pleasant. We need some Febreze. But, Heisuke aside, he's a dumpster fire. But the rest of it's just like, like you turn your nose up at it, like, smells a little funky. That's what it is. It's not complete trash. It's just, you know, I would never recommend, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, play it, it's great. No, this is not one of those games you recommend. Unless you're like, did you want? So like, did you want something that's not great? I mean, it's worth playing just to play everything that you can, but not in the like, did you want something good and valuable with your time? Don't do it. Like, that's why I do this for you. Although, I mean, Dokkan Labs games are an experience, because sometimes they're good and sometimes they are just, what the actual fuck. You just never know what fucking side of the coin you're getting, but anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.